Okay, so we're starting Unit 8, Lesson 5 today, which again, we're working with customary units, but this time we're focusing on liquid volume. So our focus is to convert. We've had a lot of practice with that word. Which means to change, convert among customary measures of liquid volume. Okay, so that includes gallons, quarts, pints, cups. Okay, so hopefully those are sounding familiar. These are a little bit more difficult to remember because we don't use them in everyday things. But if you like to cook, you probably are more familiar with some of these, especially cups. But you may not be as familiar with pints and quarts. Gallons, if you like milk like I do, you know what a gallon of milk looks like. I can drink a gallon of milk very quickly. I love milk. Okay, so we are focusing on customary units of liquid volume. So remember, volume is the amount of space that an object takes up. Okay, so I have a little picture here under here. You probably, I would think, have seen it before. It's the Gallon Man. Have you seen the Gallon Man before? Okay, so I put a picture on here. So I'd like you to draw it into your math notebooks, but I wanted to show you what it is. So here's our Gallon Man. Okay, think of him kind of like a little robot, but the gallon's in the middle. Okay, so go ahead and draw your Mr. Gallon in the middle. So gallon is the largest unit of volume that we use to measure liquid volume. Notice it's liquid, so we're focusing on the space that liquids are taking up. So your gallon's in the middle. And then you have 2 arms and 2 legs. Those represent your quarts. So how many quarts are in a gallon? By this picture, you can tell there's 1, 2, 3, 4 quarts in a gallon. Okay, so this picture helps you remember that conversion. 4 quarts to every gallon. So how many quarts are in 2 gallons? 8. You would double that amount. Excellent. Okay. Then you have these little hinges that are pints. P-I-N-T-S. So let's stick with our gallon. How many pints are in a gallon? There's 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 pints in a gallon. But how many pints are in each quart? 2 pints. Okay, so do you see how this picture can help you with that conversion? The tricky part is to remember these little hinges, the pints. There's 2 to each quart. And then continuing on with our Mr. Gallon Man, he has 4 fingers and 4 toes on each thing, on each arm and leg. So each pint has 2 fingers, which represent cups. So there's 2 cups in every pint. So how many cups are in a gallon? Excellent, 16. How many cups are in a quart? 4. How many cups are in 3 quarts? 3 quarts, good. 4, 4, and 4. So 4 times 3 would be 12. Okay, so Mr. Gallon is there to help you with these conversions. It's a visual image, plus it also just helps you remember how many goes in what. Okay, so if you can remember that from Mr. Gallon, it goes 1, 2, 4 is the pattern that we see here, because as mathematicians, we always look for structure. So we want to remember that after the gallon, each arm and each leg has 1, 2, and then 4. Okay. This information is also written here for you in your notebook. Oops, sorry about that. Let's see if I can get that to go away, and still right over here. So you have, I don't know if it'll come back. Yeah. 1 gallon equals 4 quarts, which equals 8 pints, which equals 16 cups. Okay. Get that to go away. So notice if you look at your activity book, it says answer with a fraction in simplest form. So it's going to ask you partial measurements here. So what fraction of 1 gallon is 3 quarts? Okay, so I have to think, okay, well, 1 gallon, in 1 gallon, how many quarts are there total? 4. So if I have 3, the fraction would be 3/4. I know if I write over here, that red box is going to pop up again. So let me see if I can get rid of it completely. Use this over here. There we go. Now it shouldn't come back. All right, so if we continue, what fraction of 1 quart is 1 pint? Okay, so in 1 quart, how many pints total are there? 2. So 1 pint would be 1/2. Okay, let's skip to number 4. What fraction of 1 gallon is 3 pints? Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3 pints. How many total pints are in a gallon? 8, and we have 3 of them, so our fraction would be 3/8. Okay. So there's some examples there of how to think about those conversions. And then when you get down to the conversion part, notice, remember our motion when we're going from something large to something small, convert to a smaller unit. What do we need to do? Multiply, okay? And our arms create that X for us in that motion. When we convert to a larger unit, we need to divide because we're going from small to large. So we divide, okay? So here for number 5, we have 20 cups to a quart. Which one's larger? Quart. So we're going from small to large. So what do we need to do? Going from small to large. Divide by what? Why 4? There's 4 cups in every quart. So we need to take 20 and divide by 4 because every quart has 4 cups. What would be the quotient to that? 5. So 20 cups equals 5 quarts. Again, we can also use our picture to help us over here. So 20 cups. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so that's how many quarts? One quart, 2 quarts, 3 quarts, 4 quarts, but we're only at 16. 17, 18, 19, 20 would make the 5th quart. Okay, so that's one way you can use the picture, and then you also know how to use the math for it. Okay, let's try number 10. Move this out of the way so we can see it. 144 cups. It's a lot of cups. 144 cups equals how many gallons? Are we going from small to large or large to small? Small to large, so we need to divide, and we need to know how many cups are in a gallon in order to divide. So how many cups are in a gallon? So we need to divide by 16. So 144 divided by 16 is, go ahead and try to solve that math, and we'll come back and check our answer. All right, we all agree that it is 9, so our conversion would be 9 gallons. Okay, let's also look at a few of the word problems here. Okay, because just like last night, you're going to have some that are just straight conversions, and then you'll also have some word problems. Okay, or I should say just like this afternoon because we just did it. But 8-5, how many of you saw 8-5 on your Think Central already? Did you already see it on there? Okay, so it did go through. Okay. All right, so that shouldn't be a problem tonight. I apologize for that confusion. So look at number 14. A muffin recipe requires 2 3/4 cups of milk. Okay, so this is a real life thing that's real. A muffin recipe, you might be making a muffin recipe. What amount of milk do you need to make double the number of muffins? Notice it's given in cups of milk. Do we need to do any conversions with this one? It's just saying what is the amount of milk. Okay, so we could give the answer in cups. Okay. So it takes one recipe makes 2 3/4 or needs 2 3/4 cups of milk. So how would we figure out if we wanted to double it? How could we figure that out? Amanda? Okay, we can add to 2 3/4. How else can we solve this? Multiply what? Okay. Either way, are you going to get the same answer? Yes. What will your answer be?
5 2/4.
If you did this straight across, you would get this, and then you would, oops, not 2, sorry. 4 6/4, and then this you would notice is an improper fraction, so you take 1 whole out, which would leave you with 2/4. Simplifying that would leave you with 5 1/2. 5 1/2 what? Cups. Okay. Remember, you always want to simplify. Okay. You always want to simplify. So you will have some word problems that require conversions and some that won't. So most importantly is to make sure your answer is reasonable. Does it seem reasonable that 2 recipes that require 2 3/4 would 5 1/2 be about right? That seems reasonable. If I got 15, would that seem reasonable? No. So that red flag siren should be going off in my head. Okay. All right. So that's working with the customary units of volume.